Welcome back to Global Wheel Hub. Today we've got something special for all cruiser lovers and Yamaha fans out there, because we are diving deep into the 2026 Yamaha Bolt R-Spec, a machine that continues to carry the raw, stripped-down bobber spirit while refining just enough modern touches to stay relevant in today's evolving motorcycle world. Now, right from the first glance, the 2026 Bolt R-Spec doesn't try to impress you with flashy gimmicks or overdone futuristic styling. Instead, it stays true to its roots. This is a motorcycle built around simplicity, muscle, and attitude. Yamaha has clearly kept the philosophy of less is more alive here, and that's exactly what makes this bike so appealing to riders who want something pure, mechanical, and emotionally connected. The overall design language of the Bolt R-Spec is still heavily inspired by classic bobber culture. You get that low-slung stance, a teardrop fuel tank, minimal body panels, and a very clean rear section that gives the bike its raw, unfinished personality. The 2026 version is expected to refine some of the finishing elements, like improved paint quality, slightly reshaped side covers, and updated lighting elements, but without losing the rugged identity it is known for. At the front, the round LED headlamp keeps things retro but modernized internally. It gives excellent visibility while still maintaining that old-school cruiser vibe. The wide handlebars are positioned perfectly for a relaxed upright riding posture, meaning long rides don't feel like a chore. Everything about this bike screams comfort blended with control. Now let's talk about the heart of the machine, because this is where the Bolt R-Spec truly earns its reputation. The 2026 model is expected to continue with Yamaha's trusted air-cooled 942cc V-twin engine. This engine is not about extreme horsepower numbers, instead it focuses on torque delivery and smooth, predictable power. You're looking at roughly around 54 to 60 horsepower, but more importantly, a strong torque output that kicks in low in the RPM range. That low-end torque is what makes this bike feel alive in city traffic and extremely satisfying on open roads. You don't need to push it hard. Just twist the throttle and it delivers a deep, rumbling surge that reminds you why V-twin cruisers are still loved in a world full of high-revving machines. The fuel injection system has been tuned for smoother throttle response in the 2026 version, improving rideability in stop-and-go conditions. Yamaha has also worked on reducing vibration levels slightly without killing the character of the engine, which means you still get that classic cruiser pulse, just more refined. Transmission duties are handled by a smooth 5-speed gearbox. It's not overly complicated, and that's intentional. Gear shifts are solid, mechanical, and easy to predict, making it perfect for both beginners stepping into cruiser territory and experienced riders who just want a relaxed riding experience. Now moving on to ride quality. The R-Spec badge brings in the premium suspension setup. At the rear, you get dual remote reservoir shocks, which are not just for show. These significantly improve damping performance, especially on rough or uneven roads. The suspension is tuned to strike a balance between comfort and stability, so whether you're cruising through city streets or leaning into long highway stretches, the bike remains composed. At the front, telescopic forks handle the job efficiently, offering decent feedback without making the ride harsh. The wheelbase is long, which adds to straight-line stability, a key characteristic of any proper cruiser. Braking performance is handled by a front disc brake and rear disc brake setup with dual-channel ABS expected as standard in the 2026 model. The braking feel is progressive rather than aggressive, which fits the personality of the bike. It's not a sport bike that wants to stop on a dime, but it gives you controlled, confident stopping power that matches its cruising nature. One of the standout features of the Bolt R-Spec has always been its minimalist approach to electronics, and that continues in the 2026 version. Don't expect a massive TFT display or a complex ride-by-wire system. Instead, you get a simple digital LCD cluster that provides essential information like speed, fuel level, trip meter, and gear position. This simplicity is actually one of its biggest strengths. In a world where bikes are becoming increasingly digital and complex, the Bolt R-Spec keeps you connected to the road, not to menus and settings. Ergonomically, this bike is designed for pure comfort. The seat is low, making it accessible for riders of different heights. The mid-mounted foot pegs and wide handlebars create a natural triangle that reduces fatigue during long rides. The seating position is relaxed, almost laid back, which makes it ideal for highway cruising and weekend rides. Now let's talk about sound and character, because no cruiser is complete without its voice. The exhaust note of the Bolt R-Spec is deep, throaty, and unmistakably V-twin. It doesn't scream, it rumbles. That low-frequency pulse you feel at idle and the growl when you accelerate is part of the emotional connection riders have with this machine. Yamaha has likely refined the exhaust tuning in 2026 to meet stricter emission standards, but they've done it in a way that still preserves that signature sound character. In terms of technology, Yamaha has kept things intentionally basic, but small updates may include improved LED lighting all around, better instrumentation clarity, and possibly subtle connectivity features like maintenance reminders or basic diagnostic indicators. However, the core philosophy remains unchanged. This is a rider's motorcycle, not a gadget on wheels. Now coming to fuel efficiency, the 2026 Bolt R-Spec is expected to deliver respectable mileage for a 900+ cc cruiser. You're likely looking at around 20 to 25 km per litre depending on riding conditions. Considering the engine size and torque-focused tuning, this is a reasonable balance between performance and economy.